This demonstration is going to show you how to enroll in classes through your My Lone Star Student Center. Now I'll say at the beginning, this demonstration assumes that you already know what classes you need to enroll in. If you don't, you should stop this, go see your advisor, make sure that you know what classes you need, and then come back to your Student Center. But we'll assume for the purposes of this demonstration that you do know what you need to take. Now this is your My Lone Star homepage. You can access this by going to my.lonestar.edu and logging in there. You may or may not see this big gray checklist at the top. If you're not a new student, you probably won't. But we're primarily concerned with the icons that you see below that anyway. So what we're going to do is go into your Student Center. Before I do that though, I want to point out a couple of important things on the My Lone Star homepage that aren't strictly related to enrollment. First of all, you've got access to your online classes if you are planning on taking online classes. You've got access to the parking website. Make sure that you do get a parking permit before the term starts. You can park on campus for free, but they do want to see that sticker in your window. You've also got access to your student email. It's very important to make a habit of checking your email. This is Lone Star's official channel of communication with you. And you've also got some useful stuff like you can pull up your schedule, textbooks, syllabi, you can pull up a fee statement, so there's some other useful things on here as well. But what we're concerned with today is your Student Center. So we're going to click on this icon here in the middle, and that takes us to your Student Center. This is basically your portal to all of your student records here at Lone Star. You've got your academic records, financial, personal information, and some extra information down here along the side. For instance, if you ever have a hold on your record that would block registration, it would tell you that right here in your Student Center. Today we're concerned with enrollment, so we're going to go up to the academic section and click on Enroll, which is right there in tiny blue letters. And that takes us to our shopping cart. The shopping cart is this shaded area in the middle of the page here. An important thing I want to point out at this point, when you are enrolling in classes, you should always be on the Enroll tab. If you're on the Search tab, it will let you search for classes, but it's not going to let you actually enroll in anything, which is not terribly useful. So make sure that you are on the Enroll tab. Down here in the shopping cart area, you'll see there are several different ways you can search. We're going to do a basic class search. So make sure that that is selected and click on the green search button. On this page, you don't really need to enter much information. At minimum, you want to enter a campus. You'll enter the 4-letter subject abbreviation for whatever class you're looking for. I'm going to use government as an example, so that's GOVT for government. And then you'll enter in the 4-digit number that identifies whichever government class you plan to take, or English class or music class, whatever you're doing. So I'm going to enter 2306, that's Texas government. You'll notice just beneath the number there's this box where it says show open classes only. That should be checked because you don't want to look at closed classes because you can't enroll in them. So make sure that that box is checked so that you don't wind up scrolling through a bunch of closed classes. Below this, you're going to see a lot of options like you can filter by the days the class meets, you can look for a specific instructor. Up here above that, you'll see you can look for online classes, you can look for late start classes, but like I said earlier, I'm going to leave all that blank. I really think it's best in this situation when you are searching for classes to take a look at everything that's available and make a choice from that rather than limiting your search too much up front so that you don't get as many search results. But once you've entered your search criteria, you just need to click on the green search button. And that is going to generate a results list. As we scroll down here, the first thing you're going to see right up above where your results actually start is this dark blue bar. You're going to notice that you only see 3 classes at a time out of a total possible of 22. Now, you can use these arrow buttons to page back and forth between 3 results at a time, but I think it's a lot easier to click on View All Sections and make it show as one long list, and then you can just scroll through it without having to page back and forth. Now, I also want to point out that each class is going to have a class notes box. Most of them, I'll scroll down a little bit, most of them you can see are going to be empty. But if there is something in the class notes box, for instance, this one says students will be expected to travel off campus on Mondays. If there's something like that in there, you need to read that before you select the class. Because if you don't want to travel off campus on Mondays, you wouldn't want to be enrolled in this particular government class. But scroll down the list. Take a look at all your search results. You'll notice that you get the days and times for the class, the room number, which campus it's going to be offered at. You'll usually see an instructor as well. You'll also see the meeting dates. This one is a regular session, 16-week class, so it goes from January to May. Sometimes you will see some late start classes or some 8-week classes mixed in there as well. So that's good information to know ahead of time also. But as you scroll down the list and look at all your options, you can make a decision about which one of these classes you want to do. So once you've identified the class that you actually want to enroll in, like let's say we want to do this 8-week online class, again, read any notes that appear in that box, and once you've read that, if you still want to do this particular class, you're going to click on the Select Class button that is up above it. Don't click the one below it, that goes with this one. Click the one that is above it. On this page, just double check that that is the class you meant to look for, that you picked the day and the time or the online class that you wanted to pick. Also reread any notes, make sure that you're aware of any special conditions that you have to comply with for that class. And then if you've confirmed everything is correct, all you need to do is click the next button. You don't really need to worry about all this information in the middle. It's not really relevant to what you're doing right now, so we're going to ignore it and just click next. And that puts the class into your shopping cart. From here, there are two different ways you can go. If you need to add more classes, you can click on the search button here and repeat that process that we just went through to get the rest of your classes in there. Or if you've already got everything that you want in your shopping cart, just click Proceed to Step 2 of 3, and that's going to take you to a screen where you can confirm your enrollment in this class. So again, just double check all the information about the class. Click on Finish Enrolling, and you should see a green check mark. You may have a message here about the class meeting a core requirement or something similar, but if you see that green check mark under status, you are successfully enrolled in the class. If you should see a red X, that means that you weren't enrolled in the class for some reason, and you will see a message in this area that explains why. So make sure that you read that and understand what you need to do to get enrolled in that class, or maybe you need to pick a different class entirely. But once you're enrolled in the class, if you need to add to your schedule, you can click on Add Another Class. That's going to take you back to your shopping cart page, or you can click on My Class Schedule, and this will show you a list of whatever classes you are enrolled in, and you will notice next to each one a little blue link that says textbook information. When you click on that, that will bring up a window that shows what books are going to be required for that class. That's good information to have before you go visit the bookstore, so check on that first. You can also pull up a schedule and fee statement. That will not only show you what classes you're enrolled in, it will also show you how much you owe for those classes, and it will display any financial aid that has been applied to those classes as well. Now, if you get something onto your schedule, like this government class, and at some point before the term actually starts, you decide you don't want to do that class after all, you can take it off your schedule pretty easily. From the Enroll tab, we're going to stay on the Enroll tab, just hop over to the Drop option. That's going to show you whatever classes you're enrolled in, and allow you to select any class that you need to take off of your schedule. Once you've selected it, you're going to click this green Drop Selected button. And again, it'll ask you to take one more look at it and then finish dropping. And you should see a message that says the class has been removed from your schedule. Until you see that message, you have not taken that class off of your schedule. So make sure you follow the process through until it is actually gone away from your schedule. And again, if we click on My Class Schedule, we'll see that that class isn't there anymore.